Alright, hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host and NFL enthusiast Dougie Doug. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing Monday Night Football Week 4 of the 2023 NFL season, featuring the Seattle Seahawks taking on the New York Giants. And well, this was an ugly game. Giants played terrible. I mean, you can use whatever adjective or word for the bad that you want, but yeah, this was an ugly game. Got out of hand. And it was just not a good night for the Giants. And with that, we're going to get right into the action, starting with the Seahawks. Geno Smith completed 13 of 20 passes for 110 yards and a touchdown. So Geno did leave with the medical staff before the halftime to get his lower leg checked out after an awkward tackle along the sideline late in the second quarter. He would return for the team's first possession of the second half and finish out the game. Game script held Smith to just 20 pass attempts as the Seattle defense generated 10 sacks and 3 turnovers against the revolving door that is the offensive line of the Giants. Seattle heads into their bye before traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals in Week 6, so gives Geno some time to heal from his injury. Kenneth Walker rushed 17 times for 79 yards and a touchdown, and Walker had a rather mundane first half outside of his 1-yard score. He would break free for a 31-yard scamper in the fourth quarter to help pad his stats, but saw Zach Charbonnet mix in for mop-up duty late. Walker continues to score while playing for an offense with extreme rush rates in the red zone this season, with a score pushing his total to 5 rushing touchdowns through 4 weeks. So big takeaways for Seattle. Breakout game for Devon Witherspoon on defense, and really just a great game for their defense in general. But Witherspoon had that pick six, a big play right there, and he had a couple of other, had himself a very successful night statistically. Almost losing Geno Smith to injury, got his leg twisted. I think it's been reported as a knee injury, but again, they have a bye, so I think Smith should be okay. Doesn't sound like it's a serious injury. Then establish an identity on offense and defense. Seattle loves to run the ball on offense, and with Walker and Charbonnet, they might be able to do just that. And on defense, I mean, that secondary with Witherspoon and Rip Woolen at corner, and then just the defense able to get after the Giants and put up 11 sacks. Seattle won a Super Bowl with a defense called the Legion of Boom. Now, I don't know if their current defense matches up to the Legion of Boom, but they have an old member from that defense in Bobby Wagner leading the group at linebacker. So things are looking up for Seattle at the moment. Still behind the 49ers in their division, but they're in playoff contention. New York Giants. Daniel Jones completed 27 of 34 passes for 203 yards and 2 interceptions, adding 66 yards on 10 carries and losing a fumble. So Jones and the Giants offense could have moved the ball all night, giving up 10 sacks and little time to throw, contributing to their struggles. Their lone red zone trip on the evening was returned 97 yards for a touchdown on the second of 2 interceptions thrown by Jones. Through 4 games, Jones has just 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing score, all of which came in their Week 2 comeback win over the Cardinals. Outside of the second half of that game, the Giants have scored just 15 points through the other 10 quarters of play this season. It's back to the drawing board again for Ryan Dable and the Giants coaching staff as they turn their attention to games against the Dolphins, Bills, and Washington, along with the Jets over the next 4 weeks. Matt Breida rushed 14 times for 30 yards, adding 48 yards on 5 receptions. And Breida routinely served as Daniel Jones' outlet on the night. The New York quarterback was sacked 10 times. The relentless pressure generated from the Seattle front was more of a testament to the poor pass protection of the Giants than it was any exotic blitz scheme dialed up by Seattle's defensive coordinator Clint Hurt. Either way, Breida's run as a starter in New York likely comes to an end, with Saquon Barkley expected back next week when the Giants take on the Dolphins. So, rough night for the Giants to say the least. They failed to convert in key moments and really failed to do anything right. You talk about mistakes on both sides of the ball. The biggest issue there's quite a few issues on the offensive side of the ball. Daniel Jones still not worth the money that was spent on him, though not entirely his fault. Yes, he is liable for some of the things he does, but when you don't have your running game is not existent without Saquon Barkley. Your pass catching group doesn't scare any defense. I mean, they don't have they have receivers and they have Darren Waller, but they don't really use Darren Waller, and the receivers that they do have don't really make any impact, don't really stand out. They don't make impact plays that can change a game, and or that can change a game and make this offense good. And the offensive line is a revolving door. I mean, Andrew Thomas still hasn't made his way back, but everybody else is just not playing too well. And then on defense, I mean, yeah, they didn't play well on defense either. A lot of missed tackles. I think that was the big theme for their defense. So just complete failure team-wise on the Giants. It's rough out there for them right now. They were expected to be a playoff team. They look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action. With that, we'll conclude this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.